Hey guys, it's DeElla, and we are back to talk about some more mindset stuff. And if you don't like to talk about your mindset and you are A-okay and you are cool, I recommend that you start the playlist at the beginning because you're probably not. Um, and this is not therapy. I am not a professional, none of it. I'm just telling you how I see things and how changing my mindset has changed my life. So, we've talked a lot about getting our mindset right. And for me, having my mindset in check where I can be clear to create helps me to get into a flow state. It helps me to generate a lot of ideas. It helps me to actually be creative. I don't think there's anything more important to a creative's life than their mindset. The skills that you use to create your art are all learned. You can learn a different medium, you can learn different techniques. That's while it's challenging sometimes, it's not the hard part. The hard part is allowing yourself to be able to create. And um, we have a lot of protections in place from our upbringing or our own thoughts and whatever. We put up these walls and we have our automatic negative thoughts that come in, which were designed to protect us, by the way. They're not evil. They just don't necessarily know what they're talking about. That's why I call mine drunk monkeys, right? They're all over the place. Um, it's totally safe for me to sit down and paint. Totally safe. Nothing's going to happen. But my monkeys will tell me otherwise. They'll be like, no one's going to like it. You suck. Everybody hates it. Stop it. So I wanted to kind of talk about these drunk monkeys again and how I would like you to think about your artist child, right? So most of us have seen, you know, movies like Inside Out or whatever, where like there's all these little people in your head. Well, the artist in our body, in our head, in our being is a child. And I just I don't think that artists are adults. They're just not. We're not. The artist mind is not concerned about the most practical, easiest way to get something done. We want to find the prettiest, the most creative, the niftiest, whatever it is, way to do something. Um, and as an artist, I know that my little baby inner artist is a child and it needs to be nurtured as a child. We've already talked about like journaling so you can get the crap out of your head and free it up enough to be creative. We've also talked about taking yourself out on artist dates. We've even talked about affirmations and how that can help. But I really want you to think about how you would treat a child. So, um, I have a friend who has a toddler, and it's been a minute since I've had little babies who are learning to do things like walk. Um, but I kind of had this epiphany, right? When we have children learning how to walk, we're encouraging them every literal step of the way, right? When they put their little hands on the coffee table and they get their fat legs into standing position, we're like, whoa, it's a yes, yay, all right, it's wonderful. When they make their first toddling steps, they're like, yes. When you have to hold onto their hand over and over and over to get the steps in, you're excited, you're so pumped, and you're like, this is the best thing ever, right? Well, in reality, that cute little baby child, no matter who it is probably not going to the Olympics. They are probably not going to be speed walking champions. They probably will not do anything with this walking skill but to get from point A to point B. So, should we just start telling that child, that baby, you're never going to be the best walker? You might as well give up now. I mean, crawling is so much easier. Or just roll. I mean, he first of all, your parents are going to pick you up. Why would you even need to learn? And second of all, like, you're never going to like run in the Olympics. You're probably never going to ski. So I don't know. Like, I don't see the point in fucking trying here. We would never do this to a child. We would never, ever start talking like that to a little baby. But our inner artist is a child. And we talk shit like that to our inner artist all the time. Damn it. You know, how can you stop it? There are a lot of techniques that we've already talked about, but ultimately you have to be aware of it. And I want to dispel the myth right now that when you suffer, you make better art. In my experience, that's total crap. Total crap. The better you are in your own head and the more you can control your own mindset, the easier and the more enjoyable it is to create. So, do me a favor this week, today, notice what's going on in your head and try to treat yourself with some kindness and respect. Think about treating yourself like a child learning how to walk. All right, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I will see you next week.